It is 2:17 a.m., not 2:00, not 3:00, that strange in-between time, where the world is completely silent, but your mind feels louder than ever. The room is dark, the ceiling is familiar, you've turned your pillow 3 times already. Your body is exhausted, your eyes are heavy, but your brain, it's wide awake. It's replaying something someone said 12 years ago. It's worrying about tomorrow. It's jumping from one thought to another like it refuses to let you rest. And here's the part no one tells you. The harder you try to sleep, the more your brain resists it. So let me ask you something honestly. How many nights have you spent like this recently? Because if you're over 60 and this feels familiar, you are not alone. Large-scale sleep studies show that nearly 48 to 5 adults over 60 experience difficulty falling asleep at least 3 times a week. And almost 1 in 3 wake up in the middle of the night and cannot fall back asleep easily. And yet, most people still believe this is just part of aging. It's not. Your body still needs around 7 to 8 hours of sleep for proper brain function, memory consolidation, and hormonal balance. So if your sleep is broken, something deeper is happening. And in just a moment, I'm going to show you the first simple method that can start calming your body in under 60 seconds. But before that, tell me this. Where are you watching from right now? Whether you're in Kolkata, Delhi, London, New York, Toronto, or anywhere else in the world, type your city or country in the comments. It's incredible to see how people from completely different places are dealing with the exact same sleepless nights. And if you're someone who wants to finally fix this naturally, without depending on medication, make sure you subscribe. Because what you're about to learn is something most people never get taught. Now here's what's actually happening inside your body. Sleep is not controlled by willpower, it's controlled by chemistry. 2 key hormones, melatonin and cortisol, work like a switch. Melatonin tells your brain it's time to sleep. Cortisol keeps you alert. But after 60, melatonin production can drop by up to 30%, while cortisol stay elevated longer, especially as even low-level stress in your system. Which means this, your body is tired, but your brain is still on alert. And unless you switch that system off correctly, sleep will not come naturally. So let's start with the first technique, and this one is powerful. Technique number 1 is something you've been doing your entire life, but never like this. It's called the 4-7-8 breathing method. Now I know what you're thinking. Breathing? Really? But here's what most people don't realize. When you can't sleep, your nervous system is stuck in what we call fight or flight mode. Your heart rate is slightly elevated, your muscles are tense, and your brain is scanning. And you cannot force sleep in that state. But you can force your body to relax. And this is where breathing becomes your most powerful tool. Here's how it works. Inhale slowly through your nose for 4 seconds. You hold that breath for 7 seconds. And then you exhale slowly through your mouth for 8 seconds. And the key is this, that long exhale. Because when your exhale is longer than your inhale, it sends a signal to your brain, we are safe. And when your brain feels safe, it begins to shut down alertness. Now here's the interesting part. Most people who try this don't fall asleep instantly, but something changes. Their thoughts slow down, their body feels heavier, and that desperate urge to force sleep starts fading away. And once that pressure disappears, sleep follows naturally. But here's a question most people never ask. What if your body is relaxed, but your muscles are still holding hidden tension? Because in the next technique, you're going to discover why your shoulders, jaw, and even your face might be silently keeping you awake. Technique number 2 is called progressive muscle relaxation, and it works on a simple principle. You cannot relax what you are not aware of. Even when you think you're relaxed, your body might still be holding tension in small areas. Your jaw might be slightly clenched, your shoulders slightly raised, your legs restless. And that tension sends a message to your brain. Stay alert. So here's what you do. You gently tighten different muscle groups and then release them. Start with your feet. Tighten your toes and calves. Hold for a few seconds and release. Then your thighs, your hands, your shoulders, and finally your face. And here's what happens when you do this properly. Your body starts to feel heavier, warmer, almost like it's sinking into the bed. And at that point, sleep doesn't feel like something you're chasing anymore. It feels like something that's coming toward you. But what if I told you, even with a completely relaxed body, one thing can still keep you awake for hours? Your thoughts. And in the next technique, you'll learn a simple mental trick that can interrupt overthinking almost instantly, even if your brain feels out of control. Now, here's something fascinating about your brain. When you're awake and thinking, your thoughts are structured, logical, and problem-focused. But just before sleep, your thoughts become random, disconnected, almost dreamlike. That transition is what allows sleep to happen. But if your brain stays logical and analytical, you stay awake. So instead of trying to stop your thoughts, what if you could scramble them? Technique number 3 is called cognitive shuffling, and it's surprisingly effective. You pick a simple word, like garden. Now for each letter, you think of random objects. G, goat; A, apple; R, river; D, drum; E, elephant; N, nest. These images don't connect, and that's exactly why it works. Because studies show that when the brain is given non-threatening random imagery, activity in the problem-solving areas drops significantly. And here's what most people notice. They never finish the word. They fall asleep halfway through. But before we go further, there's something important we need to address, because many people are unknowingly making their sleep worse. One of the biggest myths is this: if I stay in bed long enough, I'll fall asleep. But in reality, staying awake in bed trains your brain to associate your bed with wakefulness. Another myth: watching TV or scrolling your phone helps you sleep. In reality, blue light exposure can reduce melatonin production by up to 50%, delaying sleep significantly. And then there's sleeping pills. While they may help short-term, long-term use can increase the risk of falls, memory issues, and daytime fatigue, especially in older adults. So what should you do instead? Technique number 4 is something simple but incredibly powerful. It's called a mental unload. About 20 to 30 minutes before bed, take a notebook and write down everything that's on your mind. But here's the key. Next to each worry, write the next step. Call the doctor tomorrow. Pay the bill in the morning. This tells your brain it's handled. And when your brain feels that something is handled, it lets go. And that mental release often translates directly into physical relaxation. But now comes the most powerful method of all. And this one has been used in some of the most high-pressure environments imaginable. Technique number 5, the military method. This was designed to help people fall asleep in extremely stressful conditions. So if it works there, it will work for you. Here's how it works. First, relax your face completely. Your jaw, your tongue, even the muscles around your eyes. Then drop your shoulders, relax your chest, let your arms and legs become heavy. And then comes the most important step. You hold a simple mental image. A calm lake under a clear sky, or complete darkness. If your thoughts try to interrupt, you repeat a simple phrase like, "Don't think," for a few seconds. And something interesting happens. Your mind stops resisting, and sleep begins. But there's one more factor most people overlook, and it can make all of these techniques even more effective. Temperature. Your body needs to cool down slightly to fall asleep. Research shows that the ideal sleep temperature is around 18 to 20 degrees, and even a small drop in core body temperature helps trigger sleep. A cool room with a warm blanket, and even wearing socks, can improve sleep onset significantly. Now, before we close, let's keep this balanced. If your sleep problems are severe, persistent, or affecting your daily life, it's important to consult a healthcare professional. Conditions like sleep apnea, chronic pain, or hormonal imbalances may require medical attention. At the same time, ignoring sleep or relying too heavily on medication can affect your memory, mood, and overall health. So the goal is not perfection. It's awareness, it's consistency, and it's understanding your body. So tonight, don't force sleep. Guide it. Work with your body instead of against it, because your body still knows how to sleep. You're simply helping it remember. And if you found this helpful, make sure you're subscribed, because these small changes can completely transform your health over time. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.